even with it being a holiday, Labor Day at that, I wanted to make sure I still brought you guys an episode, but with a little bit of special twist on it. On today's episode, we'll be predicting the Chicago Bulls season, but it won't just be me. You'll find your favorite Bulls content creators' predictions here, as it's a mega episode featuring every single Chicago Bulls content creator that was able to join and give their time today and their predictions for the upcoming 2023-24 Chicago Bulls season. We're going to get into it right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. And if you want to follow the show, you can do so at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the content for today. And this is a predictions episode. What I wanted to do is that with training camps opening about officially in a month and the preseason starting a little bit before that, I figured this would be a great time to really put it on wax, so to say. And that's from our family, the Cognac Boys, in regards to their thoughts and predictions when it comes to this upcoming Bull season. So you guys can know what we're thinking heading into the season, and you can hold us accountable for our predictions and we can see how that ebbs and flows and changes over the course of the season. Now, I'm only one person. I'm only one voice, right? And I've been kind of saying my predictions and my optimism around the Chicago Bulls team for really the last month or so, really since free agency happened. And so I wanted to do something special and bring in a lot of other Bulls content creators. Now, it's difficult to get us all in one spot at one time. So in this episode, you'll be seeing, videos from everybody that they sent in on their predictions and why they have those predictions for the Chicago Bulls. But I'm going to start off with me, right? And so first up, I'm going to just talk about my predictions. You guys know, if you've been watching for a while, my prediction for the Chicago Bulls team is about 42 to 45 wins. I do think that it can go above that as well, depending on how this team comes together, the identity they forge. Can they be a better clutch team than what they were a season ago? Does Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Vucevic, do they, take another step in regards to them as a core on this team with the pieces that are around them? Also looking at young players like Kobe White, Patrick Williams, Ayo Dosunmu, Dalen Terry, Julian Phillips, right? If any one of those players hit and develops over the course of this season, it really does drastically, in my opinion, change the ceiling for this Bulls team. But when you look at it, I think this is going to be a Bulls team that, yes, was top 5 defensively last season. Even though they had some issues in the half court, I think that they're going to be able to shore those up. But then also the added three-point shooting. We've talked about how just the additions of what Javon Carter and Torrey Craig bring three-point shooting for their career. Not even using Torrey Craig's big three-point shooting season last year, but for their career averages, it would move the Bulls from being towards the bottom of the league in three-point attempts. I think they were maybe even the worst team in three-point attempts, and it can push them into the top 10 to 12 as far as three-point attempts and percentage in the NBA. So, we'll see if that, theoretically, that on paper turns into something that you can actually bet on in real life, right? In fruition on the actual basketball court. But I'm really optimistic about this team. We have relative full health, of course, despite Alonzo Ball, and I hope this is a team that can stay more healthy, that they find and strike a better balance. I do think that this bench also can be a pretty damn good bench, especially defensively. It can wreak havoc on getting things like deflections, turnovers into easy baskets, things like that. I think that those things are going to help push this Bulls team into an area where it's going to be a better team than what it was last season, right? I'm really optimistic about them hitting the high end of my prediction, and that is 45 wins. So that's what I'm locking in. I'm going to predict that this Chicago Bulls team gets 45 wins on this season, and we'll see what that means for them avoiding the play-in, how far they can go in the playoffs. But right now, I sit pretty optimistic about this Bulls team. But again, this isn't all about me. Let's go ahead and start getting into the other creators.
Hello, everybody. I'm C-Red Fred of the Big Red Bus and the Chicago Bullseye, and I'm honored to be here to provide my predictions on the 2023 and 24 Red Leviathan for Bulls Central. As a Bulls prophet, what I'm about to say has a 93% chance of being correct, as confirmed by the science department at the University of Northeast Idaho. The additions of Javon Carter and Torrey Craig will simultaneously help our three-point shooting and perimeter defense. Zach LaVine and Kobe White were quietly awesome after the All-Star break, and as long as they stay healthy, I expect those two specifically to do great things this year. The team will be better, although they've done nothing to address the massive issue of rim defense. I see 47 wins and a title for the in-season tournament, thereby confirming another prophecy of mine. Godspeed and go Bulls.
Hey, Matt and Neil from C-Red UK. As asked by Haize, we're going to give our win predictions. I'll go first. I've got them down to go 45-37. Reason for this, I like the moves they've made. I think they're not enough to obviously push us to that major next level. But from how we were last season, where you just needed them little pieces just to win them close games, I think with the additions of Javon Carter and Torrey Craig, we've got it. So yeah, 45-37 for me.
Yeah, and I've gone for 43-39, not quite as high as Matt, but I think that they've done a good job of replacing one player with two. Basically, they've used Javon and Craig to replace what they lost in Lonzo. I think it will be enough to get them into the win side, and hopefully we will qualify for the playoffs.
So there you go. C-Red UK predictions from Matt and Neil. Appreciate it, Haize. Thank you.
What's up? This is Tony Gill from NBC Sports Chicago, host of the Bulls Talk Podcast, and this is my Bulls season prediction. So, last year the Bulls finished 40-42, below their expected wins of 44-38. So, PointsBet also has the Bulls finishing third in the Central Division. Now, with all that information and all that being said, I have the Bulls finishing around with 42 or 43 wins this year. Look, I love the additions of Javon Carter and Torrey Craig. I think they would do great things for this team, but you're asking a lot from two guys and essentially two role players to improve that much. Look, the problems with the Bulls are deeper than just basketball. They all get along. They seem to like each other personally. But stylistically, this team needs to play faster, which is, as we know, not the best route or not really what DeMar DeRozan wants to do. So this is going to require two things, a change of style and play and a change of discipline throughout the year. There's going to be bad times trying to adjust to a more free-flowing offense, trying to replicate what Lonzo Ball was able to do for this team. They have to go in the lab. They have to realize with this group, with this core three players of Nikola Vucevic, DeMar DeRozan, and Zach LaVine, they have to go back to what worked with them. And whatever Lonzo was doing, and we know what Lonzo was able to provide, an unselfish style of play, push the pace so everybody can get involved. They need to replicate that, and they also need to be disciplined with it. They also need the additions of Javon Carter and Torrey Craig to come up big, and Patrick Williams and Kobe White need to step up and step up their play as well. So I'm predicting around 42 or 43 wins for the Bulls. Look, that's better than they did last year. I think that puts them in 6-7 seed standing in the Eastern Conference. We will see. I hope that they do better. I mean, it's better for all of us, right, as Bulls fans, if the Bulls finish out at top 6 seed, but it's going to be tough. This is Tony Gill, NBC Sports Chicago.
What's good, y'all? It's Quale from the Chicago Bull Pen. Shout out to Haize from Chicago Bulls Central for allowing me to be in this video. But my prediction for the season is that we will win no less than 48 games and no more than 53. It's a very bold prediction, but I do believe that Javon Carter and Torrey Craig are very valuable additions to this roster. And I think Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan are going to continue to do what they do and get buckets at the best of their capability. And, you know, I think we're always going to be best, and I'm always going to have my faith in this team. C-Red, y'all. Y'all know what it is. Go Bulls. Deuces.
What up, y'all? Big Dave, CHCO Bulls, and bow on Bulls. How many games will the Bulls win this season? I got them at 46. That's where I got them. Let me tell you why. You saw this team last year, you know, with the 40 wins that they had. A lot of those games were very, very close. And a lot of those were game-winning buckets that they were on the wrong end of, man. And some of those mistakes that they made were definitely on them as well. But they improved upon that. They shored up that point guard position, bring in guys like Javon Carter. You also improve your depth by getting guys like Torrey Craig, bringing back Vooch, bringing back Kobe, and bringing back, you know, those role players like Drummond. I think the Bulls finally have the IQ that they need at that point guard position because, you know, Billy Donovan's offense does not operate without a point guard. I think Kobe is ready to take a leap this season as well. I don't know about Patrick, but I do expect him to be a little bit better. I think his leap might be coming the year after, but I hope it comes this year. But I think with all that said, along with Zach LaVine and along with DeMar DeRozan doing what they do, and along with Vooch, this Chicago Bulls team will win 46 games. That's how I have it. Peace.
What's up, y'all? Peck here from CHCO Bulls. My man Haize hit me up saying he wanted everybody's win-loss predictions for the upcoming Bulls season and why. Look, if you're talking about the Bulls improving from last season, 40-42, they add some talent with Javon Carter, Torrey Craig. Hopefully you also look for some internal improvement with some of the young guys, Kobe White, Patrick Williams, Ayo, if he's still getting minutes in Billy's rotation. Can they improve their team's shot profile? Can they not finish dead last in the league in three-point shooting volume for the third consecutive season? I'm cautiously optimistic that the answer to those questions is yes. Internal improvement, added free agent help, and a better team shot profile, while also maintaining a pretty damn good defense that they had last season, led by Alex Caruso. They also went from being one of the best clutch teams to one of the worst clutch teams from 21-22 to 22-23. Can they improve upon that? I think a little bit, 43-39.
What's up, Bulls fans? Troy here from the Holatable Podcast down in Australia. Just giving my season predictions for the season, the upcoming 2023-2024 Bulls season. I don't see any reason why we can't go anywhere from 45 to 50 wins. We have filled in some gaps now with Javon Carter and Torrey Craig. Obviously we're going to miss Lonzo again for the season, but I think we can have a really good season, all things equal, barring any major injuries to like the likes of Zach, Vooch, DeMar, hell, even like Alex Caruso. We can afford to have some guys miss a game here or there, or maybe a couple of weeks here or there. But overall, all things considering, everything's equal. Hey, sky's the limit. 45, 50 wins. Let's push. Why can't we get that a seeding anywhere between 4 and 6? Like, why not? All right, guys. See you, Go Bulls.
What up, Bulls Nation? It's Jamal here from Bulls Central, and thank you, Haize, for including me in on this collaboration. Haize has a question for all of us. Win prediction for the Bulls for this upcoming season. Tough to say. You guys know I don't generally like doing my win predictions until we're near training camp, but my boy Haize asked, so I got to answer. And I'm going to surprise some folks because I do think that the Bulls are going to be better than most people think going into this season. I'm going to go 45-46 wins for this team, and here's why. 17 games, and I know I've said this a lot. People are probably getting tired of hearing me saying it. 17 games last season, the Bulls lost by 5 points or less. 8 of those, 1 possession. The Bulls absolutely needed to add three-point shooting. Now, I'm not saying they added a ton of three-point shooting because Javon Carter, Torrey Craig, yeah, they're decent three-point shooters, but they didn't take a lot of volume in terms of what they did last year. I expect that is probably going to go up this year, given they're going to have the green light to shoot as many threes as they want, because the Bulls need that. But the disparity between a lot of those losses in those 17 games, when it comes to the three-point shooting versus the Bulls and their opponent, was massive. And so if the Bulls can manage to even just put up a few more threes and hopefully make them as well, you would hope that 17 of those games would translate to more wins. Obviously, not all of them are going to turn into wins. And there's probably another aspect of it outside of three-point shooting that the Bulls lost a lot of those games. A lot of it is clutch moments in the fourth quarter that the Bulls did not execute upon. But I think this is going to be a bit of a different year. I don't think the Bulls are going to be a contending team by any means. I don't think that they're going to be, making noise in the Eastern Conference and making a deep run in the playoffs. But I do think they're going to be better than last year, and I do think they're going to surprise a lot of people in terms of how well that they do. So my prediction, 45-46 wins. That's what I'm sticking. Might change depending on what happens in training camp. If there are any injuries, God forbid, or anything else that happens, or other roster adjustments that are made to other teams, then maybe that's going to change. But 45-46 wins, that's what I'm going to stick to.
What's up, Bulls Nation? It's your boy Young Jordan from the Nothing But Bull Podcast. My prediction for our Bulls 2023-24 regular season record is 48 wins. We had a tough shake last year. Some of those missed calls that showed up on the last 2-minute report where we could have had wins in those games. Zach started off the season injured. So we coming in with a healthy Zach, a couple upgrades with Javon Carter and Torrey Craig. 48 wins or more. I said what I said.
Yo, what's going on? My name is Tony. I represent Bulls Nation Station. I appreciate you guys for hearing me out. Hopefully you guys have checked out some of my videos in the past. But how do I feel about this upcoming season? You know, this is going to be a very interesting season. I'm very excited myself, and I'm pretty sure the rest of you Bulls fans, Bulls content creators are excited also. But I looked at the schedule, and the number I came up with is 45. 45 wins. Yes, that's 5 more wins than we had last season as we finished with 40. But why do I feel like 45 should be the number? You know, I feel like the Bulls will get around 45 wins. It could be a little more, it could be a little less, but I feel like that'll be the safe number because, you know, I feel like we definitely improved this offseason. Not only with adding our new pieces in Javon Carter and Torrey Craig, but I feel like we've grown internally. I feel like another year of Kobe White training, another year of Patrick Williams, you know, finally breaking through and realizing how good he is will be awesome. And that might even give us more than 45. I feel like, you know, Ayo Dosunmu is going to be playing with the chip on his shoulder. He's going to have a huge point to prove. I feel like our young guns are going to contribute a lot to our team also. You know, you add that with the consistent efforts of DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, and you guys also forget that Zach LaVine, he started off last season injured. You know, Zach LaVine coming to a season fully healthy with a fully healthy knee, that's going to do wonders. DeMar DeRozan fully healthy, Alex Caruso fully healthy. You know, health is going to play a huge part, but I feel like 45 wins would be good for us. You know, the Brooklyn Nets, they finished in the 6th seed last season and they had 45 wins. And so I feel like the Bulls are very capable of making that top 6. You know, it's going to be tough to see them get better records than the teams that was above them, like the Bucks and the Boston Celtics. You know, Philly might drop because of their turmoil. Brooklyn might drop. So, you know, it's definitely room for improvement. But yeah, I got the Bulls going with 45 wins. You know, I'm definitely excited to see it. Shout out to Haize again, Chicago Bulls Central, man. This guy's been great. He's shown love ever since I had my channel. And yeah, I'm gonna holler at you guys later. I'm out.
Yo, it's Steve-O Speaks. I'm here to give my prediction on them Bulls. I'm trying to be positive, but there's nothing to be positive about. There's nothing to be positive about, so I'm gonna go straight in with it. We didn't expect the Bulls to end the way we did, and in 40 wins and 42 L's. And yeah, we knew Zoe wasn't gonna be back, but damn, I did not expect us to fall off the face of the earth that badly, but we did. We did, and coming into thing next year. Just ending off this year with the end of the year press conference kind of told me a lot. It kind of told me what to expect from this season. And I'm pretty sure y'all pretty much gathered my attitude towards this team since then. For those that don't know, that watched the end of that, not even from the players, from the executives, everybody felt like we're only a couple pieces away from being real legit contenders. And I don't see that. I don't see that at all. Yeah, Zoe was a big part of our glue. He's a big focal point of our team, and we don't know nowhere near when he's coming. Yeah, he say he's coming back, but I don't believe it till he's on the court. But yeah, from then, they just honestly believe they're better than what we've been seeing the last 2 years. Now, yeah, that first year got us going. We was number 1 in the East for a while. Before the Zoe injury and everything else, Zach had some injuries. Debo had some injuries. I think he was dealing with a hip towards the end of that first year. So, but yeah, like just coming into this season, not really making any huge moves. Yes, we got Toby Craig. Yeah, we got Javon Carter, but those are not really world breakers. And there's not really, I don't know if Javon Carter specifically is the guard that's going to put us in a pedestal where we're one of the best teams in the West, in the East, like we were. So to be honest, I kind of have us finishing around the same. Not even kind of. I don't even know why I said kind of. A 40 to 43 win team. That's honestly what I see. I don't see no difference. They said we was gonna make some big moves, and I ain't seen it. There was if Javon Carter and Torrey Craig was your big moves. God bless you, but that ain't no damn big moves. But yeah, I don't. That's what pretty much I see coming from this Bulls team, a 40 to 43 win team. Let's.
What's going on, Bulls Nation? This is the Slam Duncan's Bulls win prediction for the 2023-2024 season. As of right now, my win prediction for the Bulls is 46 wins. I think Javon Carter and Torrey Craig were pretty good additions to this roster, and I think one of Io Kobe or Patrick Williams, not sure which one it's going to be, they're going to be a little bit more consistent and help impact winning a little bit more to help this team. I also think that this Bulls defense is going to stick around to being what we saw from last year. The Bulls defense was ranked actually 5th last year, and I think the additions to Javon Carter and Torrey Craig are going to just basically help sustain that. But the offense is a bigger story. They were ranked 24th last year, and I basically said they were playing 90s offense, too slow, too many post-ups, too many mid-range shots, and I am hoping that changes. I think Carter is going to help change that a little bit, but hopefully we're going to see this offense, which I thought was pretty atrocious last year, be a little bit more average. Pair that with the pretty much a top 10 defense, which I think is going to sustain. I think this Bulls team is going to get to 46 wins this upcoming season.
What up, Drip? It's Bobby, one of the Cognac boys and co-host of Shy Bulls podcast. I'm here to get my predictions on your Chicago Bulls. Look, last year we already know that the team, they let us down in so many ways. They tried to provide a spark in that second half of the season, but we're going to move on. We're going to watch it. Now, we already know you already did your homework on who the Bulls added and what they've been doing. Me, going into this season, I see that the Chicago Bulls, they will play overall better when it comes to how we manage things or whatnot. But I still think that the Chicago Bulls might struggle a little bit, hence why I'm putting them. They will increase their win total, though. The increase will go up to 47 wins and 41 losses. I think that the Chicago Bulls, with the addition of Javon Carter, is a huge addition. I think that a lot of people, though he has not been a starter in this league, they are missing one key thing that I believe will improve the team, and that's his three-point shooting. And that's when he's spotting up, and that's also out in transition where he's averaging over 40% in those both respective things. Then I am expecting Patrick Williams to go ahead and break out, and because it's really do or die, and the front office has put that pressure on him. They have put that thing out there in the forefront. So I'm going ahead and I'm giving these guys 47 wins for the season. Now, depending on where they will fall in the seeding and the playoff is still to be determined. But I do think that we will see a more improved three-point shooting team. I do still think that there might be some challenges when it comes to rebounding, though. But there it is, man. 47 wins for the Chicago Bulls, 41 losses, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully they live up to it. Shout out to you, my guy.
What's the word, Chicago Bulls fans? This is your boy, Big Bro, with a quick little prediction for the Chicago Bulls this upcoming season. Now, last season, the Bulls finished with a 40-42 record. So I didn't expect them to play that poorly, but it's just how they played all season. They didn't have any 3-game winning streaks, 4-game winning streaks. They just were just an up and down team all season long. But it's a new year. New team, not so much. It's pretty much the same squad that they ran out there last year without Lonzo Ball. And honestly, I'm not sure if they did enough to move the needle in terms of like win totals. Wins, like, are they going to win more than they did last year? I don't think so. I have the squad at about what they were this last season, between 40, 41 wins, maybe 42, but not that much better. I know a lot of people probably have them at 45, 46, whatever. I just don't see it. They still got the same coach who doesn't really make the proper adjustments, who doesn't ride the hot hand, who doesn't call timeouts at the right time, who might pull Zach LaVine after he scored 12 straight points and then put him on the bench. I just don't trust Billy Donovan enough to believe that the Bulls are going to be that much better than they were this past season. So my prediction, for this season for the Chicago Bulls: DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams, newcomers, Javon Carter, and the rookie. I don't know. I got the Bulls winning no more than 42 games. They're going to sit around 500 for the whole season again and probably find themselves in the play-in tournament. But we'll see. I hope I'm wrong.
To my man CEO Haize and Bulls Central Podcast, bro, for letting me come on and put my prediction on for the Bulls season coming up. This is the squad. Shout out CEO Haize, nephew Steve-O, and Big Kev. And don't forget them guys on the Blackhawks crew. But today we talking about this Bulls prediction for this upcoming season, where the Bulls, it's been disappointing the last couple of years. You know, it all started with Lonzo Ball, and it all's been tumbling downwards since then. When I look at this team, this is a very different team with very minor changes, but it would be a very different team when you bring in the likes of Torrey Craig. You bring in Javon Carter to bring stability at the point guard position with defense and great three-point shooting. Not to mention the maturity of Kobe White and the possible maturity of Patrick Williams. I expect this Bulls team 49 wins this season for the Chicago Bulls. I know that's a high mark, but I'm going to set the bar high. These guys' back are against the wall. I think this is the final rodeo for these three core players playing together. They must show improve. So I will set the bar high. 49 wins from C-Dub. And shout out to the man, CEO Haize. I'm going to check y'all on the next one. Peace out.
Yo, Bulls fans, it's Shon Sports here, and my prediction for the Bulls is to go 46-36. I think that's a very good number, and they've added a lot of versatility with Javon Carter and Torrey Craig, and both 3-and-D players, and I think that will help them a lot to get more wins than they did last year. But thank you. Peace.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I know this is a little bit different for the channel, and you never know. Maybe we'll start doing things like this. Maybe we'll even do a mid-season check-in, and I'll try to follow up with the same creatives to see how our opinion of this team has changed over the first half of the season. So maybe we'll do something like that. Maybe try to get everyone together as we move forward into the 2023-24 season. One thing that I want to do more is collab with more Bulls content creators. I know I have, my squad of content creators and Pat the Designer, the Cognac Boys, Big Kev, Steve-O, that you'll always see around here, right? You will always see those guys' face around here. But, maybe this is the year that I try to bring on Jamal a little bit more. I try to go out and get C-Red Fred or bring in Matt and Big Dave just for more Bulls conversations. And so that may be something that, again, I don't want to ever make it a gimmick. I don't want to ever make it an over-reliance on things like that. But, just to get more voices in here and to get more collaboration. One thing that I've always said I wanted this platform to be is just that, a platform for Bulls fans. And so, bringing in more creatives. I love that everybody who's really gotten a chance and an opportunity to contribute, right, and to participate in this. Like I said, just something a little bit different that I really wanted to bring. It was important for me once this idea started going to kind of get everyone as I could involved in this. And so let me know your guys' thought. Let me know your predictions down below. Who do you think is the most off? Who do you think has the best prediction and the most realistic prediction? Let us know all that down below. Make sure you guys are following the show at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail to sound off, just like you heard all the content creators, 773-270-2799. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related because of you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. See Red if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.